Hi, Tanna Marshall here with your Feel Good Friday message. And today I want to talk to you about living in limbo. Are you living in between two situations, or you're kind of stuck, or you're waiting for something to happen and you don't know when it's going to happen, or you're trying to make something happen and it hasn't happened yet? There's so many scenarios that could be happening that put you in limbo. I am in limbo because of taking care of my mom, and we're kind of at that point where I don't know when she's going to choose to make her transition. And it can be a weird, frustrating, confusing time. And sometimes you don't know how to utilize this time, or you just don't. You just sit there and you're frustrated and you're pissed and you're like, I need something to move. I need things to happen. I want to move forward. And I get that, but I've been in this kind of state of limbo for so long, excuse me, that I've learned how to use it. And I want to share this with you and encourage you to utilize this time to imagine what you want your life to look like later. You know what I call later. So one of the reasons I'm doing it here, I'm in my living room, and this is our couch. And behind me, there was this shelving unit with all kinds of knickknacks on it that had been there since my parents moved into the house in 1949. They had very little furniture. I think they had two twin beds. One was their couch right here where I'm sitting, and the other one was their bed. Yes, my parents shared a twin-sized bed when they first got married. But because we're going through a time of transition right now, I've been making changes throughout the house starting a couple of years ago. My mom was fine with it, so that made me feel good. I had her blessing to make some changes and move some furniture and make the house a little bit more my style, because it was all like big, dark, heavy furniture, and that is not my style at all. So we got rid of some, we moved some back to her bedroom, and now the living room is very light and bright and airy. But the shelving unit I had left there because it had been there so long. You know, my brother and I both grew up with it there, and all the stuff on the shelves we were so used to. But as I've mentioned before, I'm kind of getting to this point where I'm getting anxious about all the stuff I'm going to have to do after mom is actually gone. So while I have the energy and while I'm motivated to do it, I'm trying to clean out and clear up as much stuff as I can. So clearing off the shelf here was kind of a big deal. And my brother took some stuff, and the rest I have packed away. I kept a couple of things, but these are sconces that I had from when I used to sell party light candles. I got these sconces, and these used to be in the apartment over my couch before I moved home, and I missed them. They've been in the garage for 15 years. So when I took down the shelving unit, I actually started crying because I was like, oh my God, this has been here my whole life. And even though I'm changing it to something that is more me, that's pleasing to me, that makes me happy and is more familiar to me and my style, it was still a little bit weird and traumatic to take that shelving unit down. So it's one of those things where you can do what you can while you're in limbo, while you're waiting for the opportunity to move forward. If there's something preventing you from fully moving forward and making bigger changes that you want to make the small changes and things that make you happy. Because I love it. Aren't these pretty? I'm so happy. I had to have them all lit for the video today. And I'm also in limbo because I got to figure out some artwork that I want there, and I don't know what I want yet. My husband's helping me figure something out. We'll get something done and framed and nice and put there. And I actually just hung these on the existing nails that were holding up the shelf, so they might move, but they frame my head rather nicely, don't you think? So when you're in limbo, when you're feeling stuck and frustrated, I just want to suggest that you utilize that time to go within and imagine what you want your life to look like, what you want to be doing, how you want to be doing it. How do you want to be in the world? How do you want to feel in that situation that you're thinking about? And as frustrated as I've been over the years, because I've been taking care of my mom full-time pretty much for 8 years, about 8 years now. I've been living with her since my dad died about 15 years ago. So I wasn't taking care of her full-time in the beginning, but still that was a state of limbo because I had left my home that was my home and moved into my childhood home that was not my style, not my decor, full of clutter. We're going to be doing another message on clutter and decluttering. And it was difficult for me because your space affects your energy big time. So I did what I could. I made my bedroom my own. She allowed me to make the office my own. But aside from that, mentally and emotionally, this time, now that we are where we are, I'm grateful for that time in limbo because it really allowed me to define what I want and how I want to feel and how I want my business to look and who I want to be in my personal life, my professional life, how I want to put myself out into the world. And I think that's been evolving through these messages over the years as well. But I wouldn't have the clear vision and the desire and the drive to know what I want to do and where I want to go if I didn't have this extended time in limbo. So if you're there, just realize it's not time for things to move yet. It's not time for things to manifest, but they will. And if you can get your energy going in the direction that you want things to go when they do start moving or when you're finally out of limbo, you're going to have a much better result. You're going to feel better. You're going to be happier. And things could show up that you never imagined because you got there vibrationally first. So that's my main point. Go where you want to be. Live the life you want to live in your mind vibrationally first. And allow it to evolve because it could change. It will change over time. You know, we all change over time. And even when you are in motion and doing those things, it's going to change and evolve. And you're going to make adjustments here and there. So use limbo. Use limbo. It's not just a game. Oh, it's not just the, bending backwards under the pole thing. It is a time of reflection and making conscious decisions and preparing. It's a time of preparation. If you think of it that way, instead of just being stuck, it's a time of preparing for the life that you want to be living, for the experiences that you want to have. And I really can't emphasize this enough. I talk about this a lot. Really, you've got to decide how you want to feel. And it can be general. You can decide, I just want to feel fulfilled in my work, in who I am as a person, in my relationships, and that could be enough. You don't have anything more specific in mind, just decide, I want to be fulfilled. And I think that's a safe generalization. I think everybody wants to feel fulfilled. So just focus on feeling fulfilled in living the life that you want. And if you have specific details, focus on them and close your eyes and imagine yourself already in that and already living it and already embodying it. Because the more you feel it within here, the more quickly and the more abundantly it will be able to come to you when you are finally able to move forward. So I just want to encourage you to use that time. Instead of getting frustrated and pissed off and feeling stuck, just use it as a time to prepare for what is coming. And when you do that preparation, what comes can be way more amazing than anything you could have planned for or worked towards or created on your own. Bigger than you even imagined. So get excited about that, because I remember years ago when I'd been in the same job for a really long time, in the same apartment for a really long time, and there was nothing wrong with it, but I just kind of felt stagnant, like, oh my God, when are things going to change? And boy, did they change. My dad got sick and died, and can you move in with your mother? And then boom, there's that change. So then I was in a different kind of limbo. So it's weird. My life has been in a kind of a weird state for a really long time, almost 20 years actually. So I'm looking forward to getting back to having a life with some forward momentum in the physical world. But in the meantime, I've been doing a lot of the inner work. So do that, and it will help with that feeling of frustration and stagnation when you are in limbo. So I hope this helps if you are in some kind of limbo situation where you feel stuck and frustrated, because you turn that around and you put the emotions out that are going to be more productive for you later. then it's really going to pay off for you in the future. So I hope this helps you with that. And I want to thank you again for joining me. I appreciate you so much. This is one thing that I've been able to do every week for the past 5 years that makes me feel like I have some forward momentum, just doing these messages for you and spending this time with you every week. So thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. And if you enjoy these videos, remember to subscribe to the channel. And if you would like these videos delivered straight to your inbox every Friday, jump over to my website, tannamarshall.com, join the mailing list, and you'll get them from me first thing Friday morning with a special little note. So thank you for joining me. Go within, plan what you want to have happen in the future, feel it, embody it, and limbo won't feel so limbo-ish or weird anymore. Have a great week, and I'll see you next time.